I just got word that we have some severe weather, so let's toss things over to meteorologist Jack Griffin.
Thanks, Aaron. Yes, we do. We have a few tornado warnings out there in parts of Livingston County. And so what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to step off screen so I can get our stream going for the TV portion on Facebook Live, and then we'll be on there with that. There have been a couple reports of confirmed tornadoes near the Chenoa region, or 7 miles west of Fairbury, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So just give me one moment here to switch over my information. Okay, it's just me here in the studio. We've got Kevin chasing, and so he's able to get a live picture, but unfortunately he's not actually where these storms are. So let me just make sure I've got the right. There we go, that's good. Okay, so we have a number of tornado warnings here in this area for this one cell that's moving through the far northern part of McLean County going into Livingston County. So there's been a few reports already of an observed tornado. At 4:27, a confirmed tornado was located near Chenoa, moving east at 35 miles per hour, and it was 7 miles west of Fairbury. So it's basically going right along 24 there. So here it is approaching Fairbury. If you live within these spots, you're going to want to make sure that you get to your safe spot immediately as the storm is moving to the east at around 35 miles per hour. Let's put a track on it, and we'll show you the timing there of our storms as it goes off there. So Fairbury, you got a few minutes here, 4:34, Forest at 4:44, Chatsworth at 4:57, Piper City at 5:07, and Onarga at 5:26. That'd be the warning time for here with your warning there. And because of the fact that this has a confirmed tornado tag with it, meaning that some spotters have actually seen a tornado touchdown, you'll want to take this one very seriously. It's moving out to the east, like I said, at about 35 miles per hour. And we are going to keep an eye on this storm as it's continuing on. It's actually in some pretty favorable air. And what's interesting is we're going to turn this off and back out. You'll see that we have a majority of our storms that are coming in from the western side of the viewing area. Now, as I turn the lightning on, you're going to see that there's a tremendous amount of lightning, and looping it, you're going to see that we've had these storms really explode in coverage area as well as explode in intensity here for quite a while. And in fact, we were always kind of expecting these storms to make a big line like they're starting to do right now. And we thought that that would be where the strongest storms would be. So it's very interesting that we do have this one storm up farther to the north, kind of on the fringe of where we expected the severe weather to be, and that's the one that's got the tornado warning. So it's a little bit interesting with that one. We're going to put our sky cam on to Pontiac. That's the closest one there. And on the Pontiac RV weather camera, the storm, it would be just off to the left of the screen. So this camera is looking west. The storm is to its south, but you can see that we've got some flashes of lightning that do show up there on the camera. I'm going to take a look at our Gibson City one. That one's also relatively close by, too. The Gibson City camera is going to be to the south of it, and so it would be on the right-hand portion of the screen. So both of those camera views now not necessarily offering us the best view, but we do have that storm up there. Just want to quickly recap. We do have a tornado watch for a majority of the viewing area until 9 o'clock tonight. Does not include everybody, but until 9 o'clock tonight. But let's go back to our Storm Tracker Doppler. And the Storm Tracker Doppler, as you can tell, we do have some warnings that are beginning to pop up now southwest of the viewing area, but they are still, the only warnings that we have are with that storm up there. So we'll go back to it, and we're going to take a look at the velocity with this storm as we turn off our lightning. You're going to see that our velocity remains pretty good. We were having this shown on our Facebook Live, and then as the storms got deeper and deeper into Livingston County, we ended up going on to TV as we now are. But there is, just off to the west of Fairbury, that's where our circulation is. And so that's where we're looking at that tornado to be. Again, so if you live in the Fairbury area, Fayette, Chatsworth, and this storm would be, as you can see, just to the south of Pontiac, the heaviest portion of it. The storm doesn't necessarily have the biggest hail signature with it. It's a small hail core that you can see there just off to the west of Fairbury, kind of right there by Eppert's Point and Yates area there. But it is a small core, but we still do have some relatively decent-sized hail within that one. But the main factor with this storm is the strong winds and the tornado velocity signature that we do have with this one, as there's been rotation, and occasionally this storm has put down a tornado. It's basically moving off to the east, right there along 24, and so you can kind of tell, even as I loop the velocity, it's been relatively straight here along US 24 as it moves off to the east. So it's still moving at around 35 miles per hour, and we've had, just checking a few more things here. It's just me here in the studio, like I said, and Kevin is out chasing, but he is down closer to far southwestern parts of our viewing area where we kind of think more of the activity is going to be. So no new information as of right now. You still want to treat this as the tornado warning. The tornado is still on the ground. This tornado warning goes until 4:45, and we'll put a track on it again from the kind of the core there of that velocity as it moves off to the east at around 35 miles per hour. So again, just to recap, if you live anywhere near these points, Fairbury 439, Forest at 448, Piper City 507, La Hogue at 516, and Onarga at 524, you want to be in your safe spot as the storm is moving off to the east and has produced confirmed tornadoes on the ground. We've got a tremendous amount of lightning with these storms as they have been moving through. In fact, just kind of blows it out there. And a lot of these storms that are coming into the viewing area southwest of Springfield, approaching I-55 right now, it just blocks out the radar image how many lightning strikes there are. So we do have a lot of lightning with these storms as they come through. So they've kind of trimmed back now on some of the warnings that we do have. We just have now the one main one that we're looking at here. Okay, this next one now goes until 5:30 for Livingston County. And so this is the new one, and then these two older ones back here are the ones which initially prompted the warnings to come through. So that's what we have right now in terms of the latest updates on this severe weather. Still looking for any reports of any pictures or anything like that on social media, and kind of combing through that right now. Okay, this is an older picture of a tornado that did touching ground near El Paso at 4:04, so about 30 minutes ago, which would make sense. As we go backwards, farther off to the west, El Paso is right there, and like we've been saying, the storm has kind of been following right along 24 there, and so that does make sense. Now the good news, as you can see, as we kind of loop the reflectivity here, it has weakened a little bit in terms of not showing as much in the way of those pinks and even some yellow or even some whites that popped up back there earlier on. So this storm was very intense. It still remains intense, but the good news is that we do have a little bit of a weakening trend going on with it. Also, too, and we can look at the velocity. The velocity of this one also might be kind of broadening out a little bit more. It might not be so sharp, as you can see there. It's a little bit sharper farther back off to the west. And the initial storm tornado warning happened near Gridley, which would have been right there. You can even see a little bit of that blue color there right on 24. So that's the storm that we've been tracking. It still does have some broad rotation with it, but the good news is that it's kind of spreading out a bit more. These storms, in addition to having the tornado warning with it, we can also have these kind of microburst, downburst types of winds where they can be very strong. We have a tremendous amount of rainfall that comes out of these storms because it's just so warm and humid, especially up in the upper atmosphere. And so when you have a lot of rain that happens, you get a lot of rain cooled air, and sometimes that rain cooled air can really make for a strong wind gust as it comes out of the cloud. And so what to look out for a straight line wind issue with these storms, in addition to its actual tornado issues with it. So again, we have that warning. Okay, we got a new warning in the south. We'll go down to that one. Okay, we have a new tornado warning that has just popped up, and this one is for Cupen and Montgomery counties. And this one, you can see that center of circulation is right by the Heddick area, south of South Palmyra, kind of right by the Carlinville area. And in fact, that's kind of where Kevin is chasing. I'm going to check one of our programs here that I can see and see where he's at. Kevin is out chasing as well, and he's actually pretty close to it. Guys, I don't know if you can hear me in the control room. He doesn't have his TVU up, does he? No, he does not. Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that, because he might be able to go live there once he gets closer to that storm to provide us with a good look of it. So Kevin, I'm going to draw kind of where Kevin is, and he is about right in this area there. That's kind of where Kevin's at right now, and so we'll watch for his signal to see when he pops up. So we have 2 tornado warnings. Let's kind of zoom out here, and we will reset with what we have with our warnings. We've got 2 areas of concern here with our storms. We have the one that we've been following for a while now in parts of McLean and Livingston counties. The latest update with that one goes until 5:30 for the majority of southeastern Livingston County. And then we have this new tornado warning that just popped up from Cupen as well as Montgomery counties until 5:30 this evening. So these storms, as you can now tell, we have now more of the connected line with them, like we kind of always were anticipating it happening. We'll loop this now, and you'll see that over the past few hours, this line has intensified, and we were always kind of expecting down here to be more of our area of concern for us in the viewing area, because that's where the Storm Prediction Center does have our enhanced risk for severe weather, and matches up nicely in that area down there. So we've been kind of just been a little bit surprising with that one storm in Livingston County, how it's been able to keep on going with the conditions that it does have for us in the viewing area. We do have the tornado watch, as you can see scrolling at the bottom of your screen, until 9 o'clock tonight, and that does include many spots that are already seeing these tornado warnings. It does not, for example, include Champaign or Vermilion counties, so we'll wait and see what the Storm Prediction Center and our National Weather Service offices decide to do. If they extend that, or if they add new severe thunderstorm watches into the area, because we do expect this entire time, we have expected this storm to these storms to form into a big line of storms as they march across the viewing area, getting to about I-57 or so by about 7, 8 o'clock or so this evening. And then we do expect things to keep on moving to the east, with things really wrapped up here by about midnight tonight. So that's generally kind of been the idea. I'll back up here just to give you another example of it. You've got about 7, 8 o'clock or so by the time those storms are approaching or on top of I-57, and after that they'll be weakening more as they make it their way towards the Indiana line, and by about midnight tonight things should be pretty much wrapped up. So that's what we've been expecting here for our severe weather coverage, and we'll go back to our storm tracker Doppler. So with the storms that we have in Macoupin and Montgomery counties, with that storm there, I've not seen anything that would indicate that one has a tornado actively observed like the ones up in Livingston County have. I'm going to check a couple spots, but I don't believe that is going to be the case there with that. I think it's going to be radar indicated, which can sometimes make for a confirmed tornado, but it's got radar indicated rotation, which is that one. So this one is moving off to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour, located near the South Palmyra region. And so I'll put on our velocity again to get us an exact location of where that rotation is. There you go. You can see that we've got that tight gradient there with the reds and the greens signaling we've got the inbound and the outbound winds. Got a couple pictures. Yeah, if you got those pictures, we should show them. So that was in Tazewell County where this picture was taken. This would have been the same storm system that created the warnings that we currently have. And so another issue with these storms as they come through the viewing area will be the tremendous amount of heavy rain that we've got with them. Some of these have already seen over 2-inch per hour rainfall rates with these storms. So they are going to be, as they move through, dropping a lot of rain. And in fact, with them only moving about 20, 30, 35 miles per hour or so, they're not moving all that fast. You're going to get quite a bit of rain out of that. So I'm going to put a track on that storm there. It's moving off to the northeast about 20 miles per hour. So if you live near the Nowwood region, Girard, approaching there around 5:08, Verdun at 5:15, Bois d'Arc at 5:27. I'm pretty sure it's not the way you say that. I'm sorry. And Diverting at 5:34. That's where you've got there. So if you live in and around these areas, please seek shelter, as this storm is capable of producing a tornado, and it does have the rotation that we need to see from the radar to produce a tornado, and we have that right there. So we'll go back up to our storm up in Livingston County. So now the counties have been trimmed back from that one, from Livingston as well as McLean County, those smaller warning boxes. And now we just have the one now until 5:30. And I'm going to check a couple things here. Okay. This is a picture from Greenfield, Illinois. And you can see we've got the lowering there of what's probably the shelf cloud there, potentially even a wall cloud too. But we've got a great picture of that storm approaching the Greenwood area. In fact, the Greenwood area, that was back just outside of our viewing area, and that was a storm that was coming through and into what we have right now. So that was, I believe it was by the, Goodfield. Is that what you said, Scott? Yep. So that's just outside of our viewing area. It's by Congerville. Yep. And it's just northwest of McLean County. So that's the storm that it's now become. We have this tornado warning now until 5:30 for Livingston County. I'm going to check a few more things here to see if we have. Okay, so we've got it now radar indicated with this warning up in Livingston County. So a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Fairbury, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So it no longer has a tornado observed tag on it. It is now radar indicated. So that means that there's, as of last check, no actual tornado on the ground, but we still do have the rotation needed on the radar to give us that tornado warning. It still is there. The rotation is still there. In fact, it's kind of right over Fairbury right now, but if anything, we'd have likely a small spin up that were to occur, but currently it is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. The interesting thing with this storm there for a while was that as it was moving across the McLean-Livingston County line, it was going between two. Okay, I'll show that 1 second, Scott. We've got the National Weather Service takes care, from Chicago, takes care of Livingston, Ford, and Iroquois counties. And then the Lincoln National Weather Service office takes care of McLean County and most of our viewing area. So it's kind of between two different forecast offices there. But we'll show that picture right now, Scott. Okay. Okay, this is right outside Carlinville. You can see that we've got that nice definitive lowering there of the wall cloud. And you can also see off in the distance there, kind of just center right, that would be where your heaviest rain is. But it's got a great looking view. Whoever took this picture got a great looking shot of that storm in the Carlinville area. I'm going to zoom out and see if we have any more additional warnings. We do have a couple more warnings now that are coming into the southwestern corner of the viewing area. They are now really fringe of parts of Cupen, Montgomery, and Fayette counties. Okay. Just give me a standby when Kevin wants to go on. Okay, if Kevin can go right now, let's take Kevin, because that'll make for some good shots.
All right, hey Jack, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but
I can.
yeah, so I'm located here in the northern kind of tip there of Montgomery County. I'm actually near Farmersville right now. I'm looking at that storm that's just off to my south and west. As you were just talking about near Carlinville, north of Carlinville, where there is some of that rotation and where that tornado-warned storm is located right now. And so, again, what you are looking at are some of the clouds here. I've got some light rain. But again, I'm in Farmersville, which is just on the edge of the rain shield where this storm is located, and they just kind of trimmed that tornado warning a little bit, but it is just to my south and west. And wow, look at that lightning. I can tell you this, there's been a lot of cloud to ground lightning, and which is always an indicator of a storm that is trying to strengthen a little bit there. When there's a lot of electricity in the storm there, those storms can really continue to kind of fire, and that's what we're looking at here. So this is going to be where we've got some rotation and most likely rain-wrapped tornado. Where the rotation is located is actually deep within the heavier reflectivity bands there, those reds and whatnot. So it would be very difficult to see, but we're going to be monitoring this and watch this storm as it comes across here. Again, I'm right here along I-55 in Farmersville in extreme northern Montgomery County. We're just going to follow this line as it comes in from the south and west and see how these other storms are going to do along this. All of these storms are pretty much getting ready to cross I-55 right now and heading off to the east. But again, the tornado warned storm there into portions of Cupen County is the one that we're keeping an eye on here. And I'll let you know if I see anything, and we'll keep you up to date as the storm gets a little bit closer to me. So Jack, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Chief. And yeah, we'll keep checking back in with our storm tracker and Kevin throughout the rest of the evening as those storms begin to come through. So as we take a look at the storms that we have out there right now, we do have now kind of a large area of storms coming in from the southwest where Kevin is. This line is now becoming more intense as it moves deeper and deeper into the viewing area. And so at this point now, as you can kind of tell, we're kind of right up to I-55 in Sangamon County, going back farther down to the south into Fayette County. The storms there are basically at the interstate and are now crossing it over. We'll go back up to our storm, though, up in Livingston County. Again, we still do have this tornado warning that goes until 5:30. We also have these ones. So they both go until 5:30. They're both tornado warnings, the one in Livingston County as well as the one in Macoupin and Montgomery counties, and then also into Fayette, Cupen counties. That severe thunderstorm warning also down there goes until 5:30. So everything goes until 5:30. As you'll see with Livingston County's storm, we do have now what looks to be in kind of uptick there in the intensity with our reflectivity over the past few scans. So we're going to have to watch out for a potential new warning that comes out of that once this one expires here. But we have, because they're not moving very fast, it's about 35 miles an hour, this warning does go until 5:30. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit more and put a track on this storm as it's moving through Livingston County and then eventually crosses over into Ford County. And if it holds together, it would still be able to go into Iroquois County. So Chatsworth at around 5:01, Piper City at 5:11, Onarga at 5:27, Gilman at 5:29, Crescent City 5:42. That is what we have for the latest on the warning up there. We'll take a track on the storm that is producing our tornado warning down to our southwest. And that one has been moving off to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour. So kind of right down there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Yep, so this is a picture of from Carlinville from social media, and there is down where that storm is at. You can see that we've got, again, the nice lowering there of the wall cloud. We've got the broad rotation with this one as well. And that is where Kevin is at. That's the storm that Kevin is on. So Nowwood at 5:08, Girard at 5:15, Verdon at 522, Auburn at 535, and Ball at 550. Again, that's if it still keeps going that same direction. Sometimes these storms do change direction as they intensify or weaken. So sometimes we have to look out for changes. All right, we're going to go to Kevin. Just going to look at his view here. As you can see from the storm tracker, he is on that southwestern warned storm. And you've got the clouds there, as well as the rain showers. Not exactly raining a whole lot, but you do have a lot of lightning. And Kevin had said earlier that he has a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning with those storms. Can we put Kevin through if he's seen anything different?
Hey guys, yeah, I'm still here, Jack. Again, basically, I'm just kind of waiting on this storm. Sorry about that. The truck just went by here. Waiting on that storm to get a little bit closer to me. And basically, here I'm going to switch over to my other camera here. So that is a little bit more of a look. That is due west right now. And that's exactly where that rotation is. Whoa, that was a close lightning strike. Luckily, again, I'm inside my vehicle here. But again, the storm is getting closer to me. The rain-wrapped tornado located there basically is going to be the rotation with that is going to be over west of Nillwood and moving off there to the north and to the east. And I'm here in Farmersville, and so I'm just getting ready to, I'm on I-55 here. I got to make a decision on whether I travel a little bit further north, a little bit further to the south here. But I've got some light rain right now, and again, just watching our storm as it continues to get a little bit closer to my location here, and probably going to shoot maybe a little bit to the north. It looks like some of that rotation is starting to show up. But again, this is rain wrapped. This is a very difficult tornado to spot, so don't expect to be able to walk outside and see this big, huge cone, funnel coming down and whatnot, because the rotation is wrapped in the middle of some really heavy rainfall here. So we're going to monitor it, keep an eye on it here, of course. And, of course, Jack, you're keeping an eye on that northern storm, which has, well, defied a lot of odds today in an atmosphere that we thought maybe it'd be a little bit more primed down to the south. But, boy, right there into Livingston County, that storm has persistently showed rotation with it, and you've been tracking it up there, and that's still a pretty good storm that eventually looks like that's going to come into the kind of the northern portion of Ford County before too long. So I'll let you track that, and then I'll keep you up to date on what I continue to see down here on our southwestern storm in Cupen and eventually portions of Montgomery and Sangamon County.
Thank you, sir. Yep, so yeah, that storm that we've been tracking, the northern one, has been kind of right along 24 here for a majority of its lifespan. As we loop that, you can tell that that has been the case there. And so we still have 33 minutes left of this tornado warning, as it's right now basically in the heart of the warning area. So now Fairbury is going to has seen the worst of it, and anything west of there has now seen the worst of the storm as it's gone through. But Chatsworth, it's very close to you right now. We're going to put another track on it to get some of our smaller communities that won't pop up in here. We'll get the track of that. So moving off to the east around 35 miles per hour. These times will be approximations. So Chatsworth at around 5:03, Piper City 5:13, Onarga 5:32, Leonard at 5:39, and Crescent City at 5:46. At latest check, we still have it as a radar indicated tornado with hail up to 1.5 inches. So the hail has actually gotten bigger larger on that one. It's actually slowed down a little bit too. This thunderstorm was capable of producing a tornado located between Forest and Fairbury, moving to the east at now 25 miles per hour. So that's actually the latest one that we see here. From the National Weather Service, the tornado and severe threat continues near Fairbury to Forest, thanks to another updraft spike noted on the radar. And we'll be looking at the storm to potentially re-intensify a little bit more, and that's why we're going to see it continue with a tornado warning, and also with the winds as well. They're also favorable for this to kind of keep on going a little bit. So they've trimmed it, as you can see now. So 5:30 is where this now goes until, and it has slowed down a little bit too. So we'll put a new track on that to give us the better approximations of the times of this as it moves out to the east at about 20 miles per hour. Chatsworth at 501, Piper City 517, La Hogue at 533, Thawville at 534, and Onarga at 549. That's the kind of the new approximations of our time since this storm has slowed down a little bit more, about 20 to 25 miles per hour with this one. The storm that is in Cupen County is still moving off to the northeast, and that one's about 15 miles per hour. So these storms are kind of slow movers. There's going to be a lot of heavy rain that comes out of these storms. And then we also do have the line itself of our storms that are coming through, and that line is going to have heavy rain with them as well. But we still are tracking our kind of two main areas here. Would not be surprised if we see a few more warnings pop up down in this area here as those storms continue to move off to our east. But this one, the Livingston County one, has really kind of defied expectations here by, first off, forming as well as it did, but it also has held on as much as it has been. We'll go back to our velocity with that, and you'll see that we still do have that tight rotation with our velocity just off to the east of Fairbury with that one. So right over the forest area. So if you're in any spots that are showing up here within the warning area, Pleasant Ridge, Forest, Cereal, Chatsworth, Charlotte, you want to make sure that you are in your safe spot as the storm is moving off to the east at about 20 miles per hour. The hail with this one is also kind of increased a little bit in its size as well, and there it is. You've got the nice hail core that's showing up there right over Forest right now with some pretty large hail. So the warning for this one goes up to 1.5 inches of hail with this one. So this would be larger than your typical quarter-sized hail that we get with a lot of our warnings. So that's what we have with the storm up to our north. This one is definitely the more robust of the storms that we have in the viewing area. We'll zoom out and we'll take a look at the hail size down on the storm that Kevin's on, and it's really not showing up very well. There's a small hail core there, but overall though, that one is going to be more of just the rotation and with it being rain wrapped. So we'll go to our velocity, and it's kind of there. As we kind of back up a couple steps, you'll see that it was much more apparent, and in fact they just now canceled that warning. So let's see what they end up doing after that with this county, Cupen County. That's under the jurisdiction of the St. Louis National Weather Service office. So I'll keep an eye out for those. So this is good now. We can kind of just focus our attention back up now just into Livingston County, where we have that storm with the warning on it that still goes for another 29 minutes. But the wording here from the National Weather Service in St. Louis about that Cupen County storm that we were looking at where Kevin was, the storm no longer exhibits any real threat anymore. So that's good news there. So we're back up now into Livingston County, as you can see. And the National Weather Service, as well as myself, is seeing that rotation is kind of increasing with every single new radar scan that we have there. So whenever you have the colors meeting there, the reds and the greens signifying winds going towards and away from the radar, that's going to be your rotation right there. And the brighter the colors in there also helps us figure out that it's becoming a bit more intense. And as we kind of back this up a couple of frames, you'll see that when it was over Fairbury a little bit, it wasn't as impressive as it is now, kind of in between the two of them. So there still remains a real threat that this storm could produce a tornado on the ground. This storm has had a history of producing tornadoes on the ground, but as of right now, it remains radar indicated. But we're still going to have the issue with it being potentially obscured there by visibility. I'm going to go back out to our home view, and we do now have new warnings that have popped up. These are now severe thunderstorm warnings that have popped up now for those storms into parts of Montgomery County as well as parts of Fayette County there. So that goes now until 5:45. We'll get the time to pop up on that one. And this one has it for winds up to 70 miles per hour and pretty small hail with it. So definitely hail is the main threat with this one. But we have to look out every once in a while when you get your winds that really intensify like that, you can end up getting a brief spin-up tornado. So to keep an eye out for those storms down there. That one, the information on that one, let me pull that one up, is going until, like I said, 5:45, I should say. And I'm trying to pull up the radar here. So Kevin is down there tracking those storms, but it's now lost its tornado warning. So now we just have severe thunderstorm warnings on them. But the thing is, though, is that they are up to 70 miles per hour with the radar indicated speed of these gusts. These are moving off to the northeast now much, much faster at 60 miles per hour. So it's now basically surging winds out of this one right there. So it's going to be moving awfully fast. This is probably not going to include all these cities that pop up here because we're going to likely change direction with this storm. It'll probably weaken and move a different way, but close by, though, Central at 5:10, Hillsborough at 5:19, Nokomis at 5:33. If it keeps on going that speed, Pana at 5:42, and then Windsor just after 6 o'clock. But that storm is now basically pushing out quickly. It's essentially a little bow echo. And when you have your winds, when you have the shape of the storm like that, that's what happens with the winds. It ends up surging, and that's what we have happened here. We'll go to our velocity, and you can kind of usually tell with the winds here, not only are they going to be kind of all the same color, but it's going to be showing up lighter colors. And so you've got some of these brighter greens that show up there. That would be indications of some very fast winds as it moves off to the northeast. That's essentially what is happening down there. So we'll go back up to our Livingston County one. And as we zoom back in on that one, we can tell that the velocity is still showing some rotation. The rotation might not be that good anymore. It may have kind of weakened just a little bit. It was looking pretty good there between Fairbury and Forest, and now it's spread out a bit more, as you can tell there. Still kind of between Forest and Pleasant Ridge, kind of where the lead area there of the rotation would be. But it's not exactly following the straight east path that it was doing before. So we might be noticing a little bit of some either weakening there, or potentially it might be doing what's called a recycle, where the storm kind of recycles and it weakens temporarily before it gets stronger. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how that one develops there. We'll put a track on this one again for those of you who are just now joining us. It's been moving off to the east as of last check at about 25 miles per hour. So about 5:10 for Chatsworth, 5:22 for Piper City, 5:32 for Thawville, Onarga at 5:45, and then Crescent City at 6:04. That's been kind of the latest out of that with our with the latest updates with that one. Sure. Yeah, Jennifer.
So people are asking, when is it going to hit Champaign? When is it going to hit Danville? I don't know if, I know you just went out to the times for Crescent City.
Sure.
Can you do that for any of the other areas in our viewing area? Do you even know if it's going to hit Champaign or Danville or Decatur?
These storms that we've been tracking are not going to be impacting Champaign, Danville, anything like that. Here's what we have right now with our wide view. And I know sometimes it is hard because we focus in on where the warnings are, but
which we need to.
Yep,
I understand why you're doing that.
Yep, but at the same point too, not everybody does live where the warnings are, and so this is the wide view of everything. Right now we have a pretty strong line of storms kind of along and south of I-72 moving off to the east. We then have things kind of a little bit more broken up between, as you can see, Springfield and Peoria, with our big cell in Livingston County going into Ford County. But things have been very quiet for the eastern side of the viewing area. Your Iroquois counties have been very quiet for right now. Your Vermilion counties, even going farther south from there, Coles, Douglas. And so we're watching these storms kind of all move off to the east. We thought we were going to see more warnings down here to our south. We kind of weren't really anticipating there to be a tornado warning moving through McLean and Livingston counties. But we were always kind of expecting more of our storms to be forming down there. But that's the picture of where things are. The way that these storms are moving, it's about 35 miles an hour or so. And so if we did like a large line there, we'd be looking at something like this. I know it doesn't even pick up a lot of spots there because I have it on kind of a wide view. But even places like Decatur still have a bit of time here before these storms come through. And as of right now, the storms that are just off to the west of Decatur, there's currently no warnings with those ones there. So even Springfield, and we'll actually, we'll go to the Springfield camera.
Do you anticipate that as they keep marching across that there will be more warnings?
We do think that there will be more warnings as they do come across. I would assume, as of right now, that the spots where I'm going to circle down here are going to kind of see continuation of warnings as these storms continue to intensify. It'll be a little bit more interesting to see. And there we go. We just got a few more extensions there with that. But up here, if those storms are able to develop, and so maybe McLean County would be able to get another round of warnings coming through, that will kind of have to be wait and see with that one. But I do kind of anticipate, especially down here to our south, since we have, I'll turn the lightning off, we got that bow segment there. That's usually able to keep on going for a while, so it wouldn't surprise me if we have warnings that eventually carry all the way over to, let's say, Effingham, for example, with this line of storms. But that's what we have right now. We have a few more. We have another kind of secondary line that's developed behind these storms. As you can see, there's not much in the way of lightning with these, but these are kind of going through an area. Oh, my computer kind of froze up. Let me try that again. These are kind of going through an area which were kind of skipped. There weren't exactly a whole lot of intense storms in that part of the state, and so there might be a little bit of some leftover juice for those storms to get going. But yeah, this tornado warning up in Livingston County has definitely been kind of one more of those curveballs that we get here with it. You've got a lot of lightning just within the individual cell itself. I'm going to try to see if we have any pictures of social media. Do we have any of those back there, Scott, about that Livingston County one? I don't have anything that I've seen.
No, nothing that I've seen. So, Jack, let me ask you, is this, you were saying that pop-up storm in Livingston County, that just being fueled by the heat and humidity?
Yeah, it's really what happened. We had the winds were favorable to keep it going, the temperatures were favorable to keep it going, and it just kept on going. And it has produced tornadoes in the past. It still does remain tornado warned, and in fact, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go back to our velocity, and we just got a new warning out of that one. So it's getting kind of cut off here between the two radars of Lincoln as well as Chicago, which is kind of where we get a little bit of that weird purple color right there. But kind of right there, that's where our rotation is out of that one. And so it still does remain radar indicated. So 510, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Chatsworth, moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. So we have that new warning there, which means that we'll put a new track on that. Kind of right over Chatsworth right there, moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. So Chatsworth about right now, Pella at 525, Onarga at 546, Leonard at 556, and Crescent City at 603. So we still do have this warning that is the storm that is producing a radar indicated rotation, which we can clearly see, and it has, as of last check, not produced a tornado on the ground, but at any point here, this storm is capable of producing a tornado that could, so I'm just checking a couple things here. Getting some things here for the National Weather Service also about the hail, too. You've got a very large hail core now over the Chatsworth area. And in fact, as we kind of zoom as we kind of go back in time, just the past couple of radar frames, that cell has just really intensified with our hail. And so that's also going to be producing a damaging factor with this cell as well. So nearby the Chatsworth area, we'll see if we can get any closer. No more cities are popping up there, but nearby Charlotte, Chatsworth, large hail coming out of this storm as it moves off to the east, unfortunately pretty slowly at only around 25 miles per hour.
Jack, I
Yes.
don't know if you would know this at this point, but somebody's asking Nikki, hearing a touchdown between Gridley and Chenoa.
That already happened. So that is...
Did it happen? I mean, was there...
It was
Okay.
confirmed. Yep, so that is an accurate piece of information. That was back when it was, in fact, I can go kind of around that time. That would have been probably about an hour ago-ish or so when that happened. But yeah, there was a confirmed tornado, and then it held on to that confirmed tornado tag even as it went over Chenoa, but now we have it as the radar indicated there, and which is good news. We do have a lot of people that are kind of looking out for this storm, but there is definitely the rotation that we can see coming out of that.
If you stay with that, Jack, Gail wants to know, can you explain the different colors and which are worst on the velocity on the storms tonight?
So we have our, the reason why we have this purple coloring showing up is because we're kind of in between Lincoln's radar and Chicago's radar currently. And in fact, what I can do here is change that to just be, there we go. So it takes away Lincoln's radar, and it kind of gets rid of that weird purple color that we were seeing. So you want to look for, when we look at velocity, you want to look at the greens and the reds. They represent the winds that are going to the radar as well as away from the radar. Now in this instance, the radar is up in the, as you can see, Romeoville is where that is. That's going to be the radar that takes care of Livingston, Ford, and Iroquois counties. So up there, you've got the winds going towards it and away from it. And when you have the colors get very close to each other like they are right now, they almost make kind of like that little swirl shape. That will be your rotation within the storm. You also can pick up not only rotation from the storm, but even just very strong winds. And that would be those bright colors there that you see there. So that right by Piper City, that'd be some strong winds out of that. And it continues with that latest scan, continues to move off there. And so that's what we look for with our velocity, would be when these greens and the reds interact. Because if they're going two different directions, most times they're moving either towards the radar or away. But when you've got the reds and the greens close by each other, like we have right now, that would be them rotating around within the storm. So that is where we have our rotation still, and it still is showing up. Just going to take a look back. So we still have just severe thunderstorm warnings down for parts of Fayette County as well as a majority of Montgomery counties. But we have these storms that are warnings now for Ford County as well as Iroquois County, and these ones go until 6:15. So once again, we'll put a new track on here, kind of right over the Chatsworth area, give or take, and it's moving off to the east at now 35 miles per hour. So it's actually picked up speed a little bit more. Piper City right about now, Onarga at 5:32, Crescent City at 5:47, Watsika at 5:58, and Sheldon at 6:13. We have a report from Chatsworth, so right there where we've been looking at, of hail the size of a quarter, so your 1-inch hail. So that would be considered your severe criteria. I'm not sure if this will change the radar site. We'll see if that does. Okay, it does.
Jack, I've got something here.
Okay.
We just posted on our Facebook page a Facebook Live from the Cupen County, Montgomery County Emergency Management Agency, the EMA.
Okay.
Their director, They posted this about 20 minutes ago. We shared it on our page. They were just talking about the expected storms coming, the fact that they're under tornado watch until 9 p.m. They want people there pay attention to the weather using their TV, so us.
Yep.
Jack here,
Yeah.
Kevin out there in the storm tracker, weather radio, and then they explain the use of outdoor sirens versus alerts that you get on your phones, and so they just want to let people know in the Cupen County, or Montgomery County area that they're out there and they are watching, and they want everybody to stay weather aware today.
Yep, and that's the cells that Kevin is on. We've got our side-by-side now where Kevin is driving our storm tracker. Right now, he was on the storm that did have a tornado warning down in Cupen County, but then it kind of fizzled out, and then we've now seen some re-intensification with the storm, but it's not exactly now warned for a tornado, but some very strong winds. And now he's traveling, and he's probably getting set up now to get ahead of the storms, and will likely be he'll likely be kind of setting up, and we can talk to Kevin right now. And Kevin, if you can hear me, where are you expected to go from this point now?
Yep. Yeah, so that storm that is north of Farmersville is starting to pick up a little bit of rotation once again. That's going to be south of Diverting, and going to be heading into the southeastern corner of Sangamon County and the western portion of Cupen County. So I'm actually in Palmer right now, in Palmer, as I'm getting out back ahead of that, and I'm going to probably shoot up towards kind of the Kincaid area, maybe over towards Pawnee, and catch that storm because it's starting to intensify a little bit more. It broke up a little bit, and so I am going to continue to head up here north and east. So I'm kind of, it's a perfect road for me to kind of bisect things. It's Highway 48 that goes between Palmer and Taylorville, and then I'm going to kind of make my way up there and catch that storm because it's going to the northeast. And I know right now there isn't a warning on that storm, but I wouldn't be surprised if that thing starts to get a little bit of an uptick as it runs into an atmosphere that's pretty primed for still some development there. So I'm going to be watching that cell closely, and because again, that one just started to show a little bit more of intensification, and I think over the next few scans as it crosses I-55 we're going to see more of that. So I'll send it back to you for now and give you an update as I catch up to that storm.
Thank you, Chief. Yeah, I got our velocity circled there where Kevin was talking about how it's picking up on some rotation. Now this is from the St. Louis radar, and with this one you've got it just as all reds, and you might be thinking, well, Jack was just talking about reds and greens. Where's the green? Well, it's pretty far away from the radar, number one, and you don't necessarily need to always have the greens and the reds show up. Sometimes if a storm is moving away from the radar, it's going to show up as more red, and therefore some of your rotation could actually be just seen within the different colors of red. And I understand we have some pictures from the Chatsworth area if you want to show some of those. It'll give us just a second, okay? But that is rotation there as well, so I'll recircle that. Again, it doesn't look to be as interesting as that green and the red did up with the Livingston County one, but that's eventually going to potentially, if it keeps on going, show more in the way of some rotation. So we'll go now and show that that picture.
Yeah, Jack, I can tell you about this coming in from Tammy. This was the storm over Chatsworth.
Okay.
And she took it from rural Sibley. And so I asked her, did you see anything there in Sibley? No, it's just going to the north of us. She said they just got a few sprinkles and a little wind. And I would like to respond to Deborah, who just sent us an email saying this is boring. I want to say, Deborah, it is not boring for the people who are in a tornado warning. And it is our policy to stay on the air and with weather while we are in a tornado warning somewhere in our viewing area. So Deborah, if you want to change the channel because it's not hitting you right now, I encourage you to do that. But for the people who are watching and wondering, EMAs across central Illinois are telling people to stay with the TV and with their weather radios to find out what is happening with the dangerous storms that are coming through. So I encourage you to stay weather aware because, Deborah, at some point, these storms, at some point, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, sometime we'll be in your area and you'll want us to be telling you what's going on.
Yeah, and just to go along with that, Jennifer, I mean, we're all going to see storms today. It just is going to be, some of them might be strong to severe, or others will just be a passing storm. But as we kind of zoom way out here, we're all going to get some storms. And so it does not, at this point now, it doesn't necessarily matter where you live. We do think that these storms are going to be able to hold all the way together and sweep all across the entire viewing area. But these warnings, we have to focus in on them. So I appreciate that, Jennifer. Thank you. So
Not a problem, Jack. I got your back.
Yes. So let's go back to the one that we got the warnings for. We've got it for forward Iroquois County. That goes until 6:15. Oh, we've got Mark live with some flooding video. I think we should take that if we can. Let me know when we can do that, and I'll toss it to them. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. So this is a picture from Springfield. I'm assuming that's from his apartment. It is, okay. So those live shots that you see from our very own Mark Maxwell of the Capitol, due to COVID-19, he's been doing a lot of his live shots from his apartment, and that's a great view. You've got the Amtrak track right there, so it's obviously going to be going underneath that, and so sometimes you do have the dip. I'm not too familiar with the Springfield area with that one, but that, if you're going under a bridge, it's most likely going to be a lower elevation there, and that would show, that would be able to collect a lot of water. As we kind of go back to the Springfield area, you can tell that they've seen their fair share of rain, and it's continuing to rain there right now. You still have to worry about this second line that's coming through behind it. So with these storms, with it being so warm and so humid, we do have just a lot of rain that can fall out of these storms. And so that's what's going to happen here. Occasionally, some flash flooding is going to be a problem for us here. And in fact, a lot of these storms have been able to drop about 1 inch, 2 inches of rain within a very short amount of time. In fact, speaking of that, we expect there to be potentially some flooding underneath the warning for us in Ford and Iroquois counties. So there's a issue with these storms dropping a lot of rain as they come through. For those resetting, we've got it at 6:15 until, for Ford and Iroquois counties, for another 4 minutes here left over of that small portion of Livingston County for this tornado warning. We'll turn the velocity back on, and if I need to, I'll have to probably change the radar sites. Yep, because it's getting a little weird there with that. So hold on 1 second. That's why it's that's why I'm doing this from the driver's seat within the weather center. It's just easier for me to get to various things from the computer screen. Sometimes I can't control stuff with from the green wall. So there it is. Our velocity is still showing some rotation. It's not exactly the best anymore. We can go back a couple of frames and you can see that at times it did look to be a lot better. Okay, so now we just got a new batch of warnings, and here we go for Christian and Sangamon County for your tornado warning there. And interesting thing about this one was that it was a confirmed tornado over Diverting near Virden, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. So that's exactly where Kevin was saying that was going to be, and he's like, as soon as it crosses over I-55, we're going to have some uptick in our velocity, and that's why he's the chief, because it ended up happening. So we'll turn our velocity on. I think we're good with that. Yep, we're out of Lincoln. And so right there, you can see it there. Now this one doesn't look to be, like I said, as impressive looking with all the different reds and greens, and you're seeing more kind of greens now because these are it's heading towards the radar. So Lincoln's radar is right there. These winds are mainly heading towards it, but you do have those little spots right there, and right there is our rotation. So it's actually an observed tornado that was on the ground, confirmed near Diverting, near the Virden area. So back here a little bit more, right there, it was actually ended up touching down kind of right in this area there. and it's moving off to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, put a track on it, and you'll see that Springfield itself, the city of Springfield, would not be impacted by this portion of the storm. The way it's moving, it's not going to be going that way. But as you can see, if we continue it off, let's say that direction there, northeast, Pawnee at 539, New City at 550, Cooper at 604, Mechanicsburg at 613, and Haines at 624 if it's to continue on its same strength. We also do have what Mark was showing from Springfield, Mark Maxwell was showing from Springfield, the heavy rain and the flooding that they got. There's a report of 1.63 inches of rain within just an hour in Springfield. So that's going to be piling up pretty quick, and underneath your aqueducts and your all the roads there, it's not going to be enough to get the drains for it to all clear everything out, and that's why we got that flooding there. But we got this new tornado warning for parts of Sangamon County, as well as into parts of Christian County as well. That goes until 6:15. For Pawnee, New City, Cooper, Mechanicsburg, and Haines, those are the spots that it picked up on. And if you live anywhere near those areas or even within the warned area itself, you're going to want to seek shelter. Now, you'll notice that Chatham, pretty big suburb of Springfield, just outside of that warning there, they're going to be likely seeing some strong winds and some heavy rain out of that. But the actual track right now of that storm should take it just off to the east of Chatham. So we're not looking at Chatham to be underneath the threat of this warning currently.
Jack, we can show a picture real quick here.
Okay.
That we're getting in from Bradford. This was El Paso.
Yep.
Well, he sent this about 4 o'clock. A tornado, you see it there. He says it's the tornado on the ground.
Yep, that's
in El Paso.
And that's the storm that we have the warning on up in Ford and Iroquois counties. That was now an hour and a half ago, which just shows you how the storm has been able to keep on going. It'd be kind of like right around there in the El Paso area. I'll back up a little bit more. Would have been during that time right there. That's when we would have had that tornado touchdown there. So it was a great picture that he was able to submit to us.
From very far away, I would.
Yep,
I would say as well.
From safely far away.
Yes.
So I'm gonna kind of back out here. We'll turn our radar back on. We'll zoom out, and you'll see. And I'll kind of just loop things here. Turn the lightning back on, and you've got kind of 3 areas that we're watching. We've got our first and definitely our most strongest storm, the one that's in Ford and Iroquois counties. That's the one that's been surviving. That's the one that we've seen those pictures from. We have this newest tornado warning in parts of southern Sangamon County and clipping parts of Christian County. And then we have these new warnings that have popped up now for us in Montgomery County as well as into Fayette County as well. And those storms have produced a number of issues just outside of our viewing area for a lot of wind damage. And so these storms down here are going to be mainly impacting, or the main impacts with them would be for strong winds. And in fact, you can see that's the case here. We've got what's called a bow echo, and this bow shape right there, as it moves off to the east, when those storms form that bowing shape there, that's the winds really pushing out, and it actually, the winds of the storm itself actually shape the storm. And so what that means that these winds are very strong with this storm as it's coming through and it's approaching US 51 there. So Ramsey, Vandalia, and spots around there are going to look out for some very strong straight line winds that come out of that storm. But we have this new warning that we have for parts of Sangamon County and extreme northwestern Christian County, and that one also goes until 6:15. We'll take a look at any hail that we have out of that one. Now that one's not going to necessarily have as much in the way of some hail. It's going to be more within that line of storms, and so typically when you have these rain-wrapped tornado warnings, the hail signature also doesn't look to be as impressive. As we zoom out, and go up to the one up in Ford County in Iroquois County. Now that one also has really come down as well. So that's some good news. As we kind of go back in time, you'll see that that thing was just a monster over Chatsworth, and then it was able to kind of fizzle out a little bit more. So some good news with the hail sizes coming out of that storm there. We'll take a look at our velocity. It's been a little bit since we looked at the velocity of this one. Let me change it once again to, it doesn't save it, so I have to change it back to Chicago. There we go. And now you don't have as much in the way of rotation with that one. It is still there. More than anything else, though, it's going to have a lot of very strong winds. And in fact, those strong winds would be right at 57 right about now. And so I would not want to be driving around in a high-profile vehicle on I-57 right now. Do we have, I'm just checking for a few more updates here.
Can we go back to the flooding? The flooding video that was in front of the Capitol. Can we see that?
Yeah,
again, that was Mark Maxwell doing double duty, trying to cover the governor and everything coming out of the Capitol today.
I know, and
he got this as well. How much
Yep.
rain? 1.36 inches in
1.63.
1.63 in
Yeah.
what span?
An hour.
In 1 hour.
Yep.
Yeah, there's nowhere for that water to go.
Yeah, no.
That's a lot.
So, and in fact, over Springfield, we've got the dual boxes right now on TV. You can see that it did kind of linger over the Springfield area a little bit more, and that's what we've got. Now, right now, things look to be pretty dry in Springfield, but there's a second line that has formed, and it's another, unfortunately, kind of thick line of storms coming through. No warnings with them, but you got lightning that's showing up with them as well. It's intensified quite a bit, which is also interesting too. But that's also going to provide a lot of heavy rain to the Springfield area as well too, if it keeps on going in the same direction. So they're not done yet with the amount of rain that they are going to end up getting out of these storms today. So we do have a new update to our warning that's in Iroquois County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near La Hogue, or 5 miles west of Gilman, moving east at 25 miles per hour. So we still have that storm it still keeps on going. And it's still capable of producing a tornado, moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. So I'm going to put another track on this one, just like we always do. And 25 miles per hour would mean that this is moving a little bit slower than the last time it came through here. 539 Onarga, 554 Crescent City, 608 for Watseka, Eastburn at 619, and then Sheldon at 628. That'd be the timing for those. In fact, I just got a notification on Twitter, so if you guys in the back can check my Twitter, I just reposted.
Is it the Diverting? They've
Yep.
got that, Jack. We can pull that up
Yeah,
right now.
let's do that one.
This is coming from Andrew. He tweeted this. He's calling this a large, violent tornado in Diverting. You just mentioned that about 5 minutes ago, that tornado in Diverting.
Yeah, and that one, he took that picture about 11 minutes ago, and so that one definitely does look to be very impressive. And if we can put the side-by-side boxes up there, you can tell that that's a very good-looking tornado, but the velocity signature looks a little bit different. And that's because once we have them in these lines like this, it sometimes is a little bit harder to pick out some of the individual rotation. And the other point, too, is that sometimes you don't need to have those bright greens and those bright reds to produce a violent tornado, and so that's what we have here. The radar, the velocity may not look all that impressive, but that's always why we need to have the real life, real people on the ground getting us the information that we need to see what's happening at the ground. And that's just a great visual there showing that while it may not look all that good on the radar, that's definitely a good-looking tornado in real life.
And Jack, I can say that in the newsroom we have people calling EMA directors all over central Illinois just trying to get any damage reports out there. An update from Christian County, Montgomery County, EMA, no damage reports at this time. But like you were saying, spotters are out throughout the county on standby, and they will post to their Facebook if they do see anything. But again, what you were saying is, you know, unfortunately, you do have to have people out there.
Yep. Yeah, because radar is great.
Seeing what's going on.
Radar is great, but it's not...
Trained spotters.
Yep, trained spotters. Radar is great, but we need to have the actual ground truth at what's happening on the ground. And so that's why they're going to continue with this tornado warning that they've got out there. In fact, it's changed colors on a couple other programs that we use, and it's now showing the color of a confirmed tornado on the ground. It's moving to the north, I should say, at 20 miles per hour. So I'm going to zoom back in on that storm right there. I'm going to keep the velocity turned on because we've got the couplet essentially right over 55 right now. And it's moving off to the northeast at around 20 miles per hour. So we'll kind of put it right there. It's right by the Pawnee area. And track-wise of that one, Pawnee 547. Bimington at 558, Diocean School at 604, New City at 604, Rochester at 616. That would be estimated timing if that were to keep going. You'll notice, though, that it gets pretty close here to parts of Springfield, so pretty close to the Springfield area. This storm is going to pass awfully close to it. It's going to be passing to the east of Chatham, as well as now Auburn is in the clear of that. You're going to have the heavy rain in those spots and probably some gusty winds, but the tornado threat is not going to be impacting you guys because it's right there, and it's moving off to the northeast or so at about 20 miles per hour. But we're going to have to watch out for this because these storms, as we've seen with the Livingston County one, have been able to go on for quite a while. And again, we need to have that ground truth with these storms as they come through, because sometimes that may not look very impressive on the velocity signature, but it looked good in the real picture. We'll go back up to our velocity with the Ford County and now primarily Iroquois County storm. Got to switch radars here back to Chicago. And now at this point, there's still some rotation there, so the storm is still capable of producing a tornado. But as of right now, the velocity does look to not be as good, which is a nice improvement with those storms. For those of you who are kind of wondering, we're talking about a couple different spots here. I'm going to zoom it out and turn a different view on with our lightning and loop it. And you can see that we've had our focus here on a number of storms. In fact, we've got these warnings down in Shelby County now for a good majority of that county. So we'll take a look at our warnings out of that one. That one goes until 6:30. You also have a lot of Montgomery County until 6:15, Fayette County until 6:15. You still have a little bit left over of this warning here by the Hillsborough area until for the next 3 minutes. But again, with this one right here, that's going to have some very strong winds with that one because you're making that bow echo shape out of that one. And so that's going to have, National Weather Service says that one could have up to 70-mile-per-hour winds with that storm. And so that storm is, you know, sometimes these straight-line wind events actually end up causing more damage than tornadoes do. The tornado can be relatively small and very localized, whereas once you get these big bow echoes, it's going to impact a large area with these very strong winds. We've got Kevin side by side right now. We got any information? So Kevin is approaching the Pawnee area. If we can, maybe if we can have Kevin talk here briefly, if he's able to do so.
Yep. Yeah, Jack, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. Yep.
All right, so yeah, I'm coming into Pawnee here from the east, which is literally where that rotation is located, is right there over Pawnee. And so I am actually traveling west here. And along Highway 104 and off. I'm pretty much kind of looking right into the storm. Very rain-wrapped, but if there is a tornado in there, very difficult to see. But you can see the rotation really is showing up near the Pawnee area here right now. And that's exactly where my location is here. As that rotation kind of tracks off to the north and to the east, I'm getting back into some of the heavier rainfall here. But that storm, we are literally kind of right on where there might be some of that rotation. I will send it back to you as I kind of reposition myself here as we get into the really heavy rainfall.
All right, and Jennifer, you've got some pictures to show?
Yeah, let's take a look. These are coming in from Rebecca, a few miles south of Chatsworth. Okay, there we go. Look at that shot.
Oh.
That one, and okay, that one's cool. But the next one's even cooler. Look at that lightning strike.
Oh my gosh. Wow. And the American
really
flag
capturing
there.
It. Yeah, that's coming. Oh, Becky, thank you, Becky. She said she could see the storm moving to the east when she snapped those.
That's a great picture there. Thank you. We always love having submissions that come through, and again, it helps out to see what's actually happening in real life. You know, we can talk all day about what it's doing on the radar, but it helps to see what's actually happening. So thank you everybody for sending pictures in, and we'll continue to show them. We do have our velocity pulled up, and that circled area is where Kevin is. So he's heading east towards that warning. I'm going to take the circle off, and you can tell that, again, there's not the red's showing up, but that doesn't necessarily matter in this instance. You've got that tight couplet, and you can clearly tell where it is, and it's moving off to the north at around 20 miles per hour.
And Jack, we just got where the sirens are now going off in Onarga.
In Onarga, okay. That's going to be up here with our other tornado warned storm in Iroquois County. So that one's still able to keep on going.
And we've got a photo right now. Lauren, are you telling me? Okay, we're going to put up we were talking about Onarga, the sirens going off. We've got a photo right now coming in from Onarga. Lauren, who sent this one in? From Wes.
Okay. That picture up there, so this would be, if we can maybe do the, I don't know if it's possible to do the dual boxes. Yep, so right there, that's from the Onarga area, and it shows up on our radar. And what you have there is the lowering of the storm itself there. And you can also see, and it's pretty cool there, you can see the kind of almost the stripes in the colors, the striations in the clouds, showing that that this storm has had a pretty healthy lifespan, and it's been able to become what looks like they're kind of one of those UFO-looking supercell thunderstorms. You got the lowering with the wall cloud down there, the strong winds, and you also have those different colors too, kind of those lighter blues, showing that there's a lot of rain up in the cloud as well as hail up in the cloud as well. So a great picture from the Onarga area. Thank you for that one. So let's take a look at any more information I've got here in terms of that Livingston County one. So it's now just in Iroquois County, as you can now see. Tornado warning still possible here with this storm. So nearby Gilman and Danforth moving east at 25 miles per hour. So we'll put another track on this one, and then we'll go back down to the one in Sangamon County. So 25 miles per hour. So Crescent City at around 5:57, Iroquois Memorial Hospital at 6:13, as well as Watsika itself, Sheldon at 6:39, and Effingham at 6:39. So those are the storm tracks for those storms there. If you live near there, obviously you want to seek shelter. We're going to go back to this storm here. And looks like Kevin is in a small town currently on his drive to get himself repositioned. I'm probably assuming that that's the Pawnee area where he's at. So they've now shortened up. Yep, so Kevin's in the Pawnee area, and they just shortened up that warning there. So it's now a smaller part of Sangamon County, and that one still going until 6:15. So it's a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Was located near Pawnee or 9 miles south of Springfield, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. So this is moving now to more of the northeast at 30 miles per hour. So we'll put a track on this one. And we can see right where the velocity is, a little bit of a different color right there. Northeast at 35 miles per hour, 30 miles per hour, I should say, excuse me. So Beamington at 550, Cooper at 608, Mechanicsburg at 618, Tri-City High School 621, and 647, I should say, Mount Pulaski. That is the latest out on that tracker there. So we still have these storms that have the rotation with them, capable of producing tornadoes. We have a lot of heavy rain with these storms as well. Take a look at the rainfall amounts with these storms, and I'm going to zoom out here to see, just to show you that, especially up here, across parts of Livingston County, Ford County, getting into Iroquois County now, all this rain right in this area is from the one cell that we have in Iroquois County. That's the amount of rain that has dropped from that cell. You've got more spots that are now picking up more, especially across parts of Cupen County, where these storms initially got their start. And you have a lot of rain that's occurred just outside of the viewing area. And for an example of these amounts, that yellow color right there, this is radar estimated almost 5 inches of rain. So it would not always be the case. But that just shows you that the radar estimated amount is very high, which means that in the real world, there's most likely well over 2 inches of rain, if not even more, up there. So for spots in our viewing area, easily looking at an inch, inch and a half, if not even more for us across parts of Livingston County as of right now. Okay, I'm just checking a few things.
Yeah, Jack, we're working on getting some more pictures.
Okay.
Pictures coming out of Onarga, so those are coming.
Okay. Yeah, the Onarga storm right now is going to have most likely the best pictures out of it. It's its own supercell thunderstorm. You can tell that it's very isolated from everything else. It's not connected like the storms that have been in the line. So if there were to be a tornado picture, any additional tornado pictures that come out of that one right down there in Sangamon County, they're not going to look as clear. In fact, that one tornado picture that we did show from the Diverting area, you can see that there is rain in the picture there. So it's rain wrapped, like Kevin had been saying. These storms in Shelby County are going to be probably very picturesque because we've got just the bow echo line of storms here. When it makes that shape, you got very strong winds, but that also makes that shelf cloud, which always looks very cool as they come through the viewing area. So I'm sure we're going to get a lot of pictures from that storm down there. But yeah, we still have this one warning up in here for Iroquois County. That one still goes until 6:15, and it still keeps on going. We have, let's check out the hail on that one. There has been a nice decreasing trend in the size of the hail that you can see out of that. As we kind of go back in time, it was much bigger by the Chatsworth area, and then it's been able to slowly fade out. So that's some good news there out of that one. We'll take a look at the velocity once again, and we'll change that to Chicago. And you still got some velocity there, showing some rotation. But as we kind of step back in time, it's just not as well defined as it used to be. It's a bit more broad now. So that's some good news there in terms of the potential weakening of that storm. Just checking a few things here. Still moving to the east at 25. And this storm that's down in Sangamon County is still moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. And again, it's now as I zoom out, you've got these different purple colors there because it's centered on the Chicago radar. I got to change it to Lincoln, and there we go. We still do have that velocity there with that cell embedded within the thunderstorms as it moves off to the east at around northeast at around 30 miles per hour. So let's take a look at our wide view here. It's been a little bit since we've done that. You've got now a broken line of storms marching across central Illinois. You've got a new severe thunderstorm warning for Effingham County, as well as a little bit of Shelby County as well, for winds of 60 miles per hour and some small hail out of that. So we have now a majority of our warnings technically are in the southern half of the viewing area, with those 2 isolated tornado warnings for parts of Sangamon as well as Iroquois counties. So that's where we are right now with these storms. You can see that, for example, Effingham is going to see their storms much sooner than places like Champaign, even though they're both along I-57. We've got kind of this big whole area here where we don't have much in the way of a lot of activity currently. And so it might be a while for places like your Champaigns, your Danvilles, and even Decatur is going to have to wait a little bit more out of that. We'll have to kind of see what that storm with the warning does, if that keeps on going on its path or if it weakens out. But it might be a little bit for some cities to actually end up getting their storms. We may have to actually wait for a lot of our eastern viewing area towns to get our storms. We might have to wait for them until that line comes through. And so that's, you know, it's 6 o'clock and it's at I-55.
Jack, you were talking about pictures coming out of Onarga. We've got one to show you right now, coming in from, I believe it's ISOL.
Okay.
Is the name. If we could take this one.
That's a good looking picture there. If we could maybe take that full screen.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep. So that's a cool looking picture there. You've got the different colors within the clouds showing not only its height, but also its what's inside of it too. And when you get kind of those light blue, kind of light teal colors, you're able to get, that's actually the light coming through, hitting various hailstones and raindrops. And so that's what you're able to kind of see within that picture there. So that's a great shot there. It might be a little bit more ragged than what it looked like before, which would show signs of weakening, which would be nice. And speaking of nice, let's take a look at what we have for...
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah, okay, so that's a great picture there. That's got to be...
This is also Onarga.
Okay, that's also the Onarga area.
Do we have a name? Who sent that in? Oh, look, I've been waiting for this one. This one's coming in.
Oh,
this is
wow.
John Bell sent this. This is the storm over, I believe, is that right? The storm over Gilman?
That would make, yeah, that's that storm.
Remember you were talking about how the pretty blue color coming through?
Yeah.
There's none of that
and
there.
then there's just darkness in that one.
That is ominous.
And that is, you can really only get those types of pictures when you have the storm all by itself like we do. That's why we have had this storm kind of keep on going for so long. It's a supercell thunderstorm, and so it's been able to hold on to its energy for quite a while. And you've got the lowering there, the wall cloud. You do see some of the shelf cloud there with the different colors of the striations. It's a very, very cool looking shot. And
he sent us a wide shot of that picture. It's to our email account, you guys back there, if you can get it. It really, you can just see how huge it is. So we'll try to get that one up as well.
So I don't mean to throw a curveball in here, but the National Weather Service offices have canceled both of those tornado warnings. So we actually don't have any more tornado warnings in the viewing area anymore. In fact, the only warnings that we do have are for Shelby County, Effingham County, Fayette County there with that Boeing segment of storms.
That's a good curveball, though.
It's a great curveball.
That's okay.
So our local news will most likely be able to go on relatively
we're ready.
Unscathed here. So I guess what we can do is if we're able to toss it to break to kind of reset, we'll toss it to break and reset, and then we'll have the newscast, and if any more new tornado warnings come in,
to you.
we'll do it. Yep.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.